We've heard of sleeping with the fishes. We're about to fight with the fishes here at the Atlantis. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
Todd, always a pleasure to work with you. Always a pleasure.
It's time now for our tale of the tape. First up, Kingmaker. And he'll be taking on the legend himself, Terrence Bud Crawford. Up first, Terrence. What a pleasure to be in this unique environment. Every seat has been taken for tonight's match.
I'm so giddy.
And we're underway in round one. I don't think it's going to be a boxing match. This is going to be a fight. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. When you're training to fight a swarmer, you've got to focus on your conditioning because they will push you to the edge of your limits.
Swarmers, you can go back in boxing history. When you've seen them, when you've seen the best swarmers going, you understand how hard it is. It looks exciting from the outside in. Can you imagine being right in there?
We wanted action, and they are delivering. These two are the perfect dance partners.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
The bravery being shown here is just incredible. Counter-puncher is going to wait for you to move first, and then will strike like a snake. Keep an eye on this guy.
They have got great ring IQ. Counter-punchers are the best.
Let's go with that right uppercut. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout. On to the second round. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Both of these fighters have the conditioning to go the distance, no problem. They also have the power to end this with one punch. Missing with that jab. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Nobody home with that hook. Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
That counter shot lands. You'd like to see more jabs. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. At this point, you got to believe he can't win on the scorecards. Gonna need a knockout.
Wow, it's like two.
On to the third. Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
That left hook won't score. Good defense blocking that right uppercut. This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
Look back in the history books. Some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there. These guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. It hurts, and you can imagine that being you. They're the size of an average man.
This fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Whoa, wait a minute! What a shot! It appears that the moment of trouble has passed, at least for now.
Being dazed now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Both men step back for just a moment. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about a one-sided 3 minutes. We just saw it.
Dominance.
And there's the bell to start round 4. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Defense is not an option for these two. Perfect punch. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, it can be intimidating. Just depends on how confident you are as a fighter.
This has been a very competitive round between these two.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Beautiful counter punch. Swinging big and missing big with that hook. Having a hard time finding a home with that right uppercut. They both want a highlight reel knockout. Well done with that counter shot. Promise you, all three. On to the 5th we go. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
A perfect counter shot. Seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. Who's going to have more endurance?
Middleweights always gives us a class. If you've got two class middleweight fighters, you are in for action. I'm quite sure right now, if you know your boxing, there's a certain fighter, I would just say marvelous, but some fighters were unbelievable middleweight.
Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even Steven.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Swing and a miss with that hook. And shoot. This is some of the best action I've seen in any rounds anywhere this year. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. What would you tell this guy if he's got to do something different?
Needs a knockout with that.
Here we go in the 6th round. That corner has got to find a way to get some momentum behind their fighter.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
You can tell one of these fighters is starting to fade. What does he need to do to get back in this contest?
This is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? Do you believe what we're seeing? Punching. Both fighters landing in these exchanges. Judge is going to have a tough job.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. How much confidence do you build when your opponents hit you with their best shot and you walk right through?
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the Glamourweight is the heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace. You can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. You know the amazing fights at middleweight are ridiculous.
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Seemed like eternity for them finally comes to a close. Here we go, it's round 7. Safe to say that last round was a nightmare. Let's see if we can turn it around here.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs have gone. He knows your head's not clear.
Whoa, did you see that? Give me just a second here, Johnny. The corner's got the towel. Are they going to throw it in? And it appears the onslaught is over, at least for now.
Defense, defense, defense is everything because they got shot once. They know they can get caught again. So for now, just defense. Work on defense. Blocking and stopping and shooting.
Someone's will cave, but which fighter will it be? Back and forth they go in this round. The momentum continues to shift.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Nice counter shot. Do you believe what we are seeing? Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. They threw the hook. It didn't land. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something special. And there's the bell for round 8. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Those counter punches have to hurt. Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
That left-handed jab doesn't quite score. They're both trying for a knockout. This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Good counter punch. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Nice counter shot. That punch landed. The only fear you have with this fighter is has he punched himself out? This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Some might have thought the fight a little bit closer, but the judges are in agreement. A unanimous decision win.
They've done it before, now they're doing it again, and look what's happened. A unanimous decision. What a way, what tactics, what a game plan. What a result.